welcome to our TV show Life Matters. I'm Dr. Pam Jarbo.
And I'm Dr. Steve Jarbo.
Today's topic is going to be combating exhaustion. So many of our patients will talk about their energy levels being very decreased when they first start care, and that it's a problem for them to make it through all the different things that they would like to do in the day. So we have a bunch of different segments to help you with that today.
I'm going to talk about Chemistry Matters. We're going to talk about some of the foods that might be bringing you down and some foods that are going to be helpful to help boost your energy.
And I'll be doing a book review on a book called Energy Medicine.
And then we'll do our normal weekly topic of Ask the Doctor. We have a couple questions this week that people sent in to us that we're going to go over. That might be helpful for you as well.
And I'll be presenting a research study that talks about how to increase the efficiency of your body so that it's not working so hard and creating a tired feeling. Hi, this segment is called Science Matters. And so in this segment, I am going to share with you an MRI study that was done. It's a functional MRI, which means that the person was doing something while the brain was being scanned and recorded. So in this study, they were trying to research what stress does to the brain and what adjustments do to help the brain when there's stress. So what they did was they scanned the brain and they created a stress on the brain. And so they got a picture of what that looks like. And then they gave the person an adjustment, and then they increased the stress again and then scanned the brain. And so in a few moments, you'll see a slide that will show you what those two things look like. The one that has a lot of lights lighting up, the lights represent electrical activity inside your brain, like work, like your brain is trying to do work to adapt to whatever the stress is. And so the more lights, that means the more work the brain is doing. So the one that has less lights was after the adjustment. What that shows is that the brain was more efficient. So imagine it like your family is trying to get the car packed to go on vacation, and everybody's spazzing out and they're all doing stuff and nothing's really getting accomplished. Like there's a lot of energy and motion, but not really very efficient. And so the second scan shows that like there's a system and there's movement and things are happening, but it doesn't exhaust the whole system. And so that's an important thing for us to look at in our bodies, because imagine a subluxation. That's what we look for when we adjust somebody in our office. We look to see if there's any nerve interference in the system. And I imagine that like a rubber band wrapped around a person's arm. And if that rubber band stays there for a long time, your hand is actually going to have less and less blood flow and nerve flow into it. And the brain will have less communication with that area because of this blockage right here. So a chiropractor does a series of tests to see if there's a blockage and then removes that blockage, allowing the nerve and blood flow to go into that area and then allowing the nerve communication to come back up to the brain. But with that blockage there, that's hard. And so I think about this, like if you think about the electricity of your body, it's kind of like your whole body is in a brownout, because there's less electricity available for all of the organization. Just like in a city, if there's less electricity, there's a brownout, so everybody is functioning at a little bit lower level. And so oftentimes when people come into our office and they're having all these different symptoms and they're feeling exhausted, it's like their body is working in a brownout. And when those blockages are removed, they have a renewed amount of energy and functionality. So that's this segment for Science Matters. I hope you found it helpful. This is the time on our show where we answer our viewers' questions. And so the first question came from someone who said, "Dear Dr. Pam, I'm a 50-year-old mother of 3 and I've been on thyroid medication for 20 years for hypothyroidism. Last year, I got put onto chlorothiazide, and within months, I started having sore tonsils. I went to the doctor and I had a tonsil stone removed. I've never had that before, but I started having sore tonsils even after the stone was removed. And when I went back to the doctor, he said to me, 'It's in your psyche. Go live your life.' There's more, but I just wanted to pause there because when Dr. Steve and I read this email, we both felt really sad just hearing that comment, because we hear that a lot in the office. And a lot of times doctors will say, it's just all in your head. I remember a really tragic example of a child who got hit in the head with a pipe and was having memory loss and just, focus difficulties and headaches. And, he was actually sent to a psychiatrist and was seen as being a difficult child. And he clearly had challenges, concussion problems from this science experiment that went bad in his classroom. And so you live in your body 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And one of the things in our office we talk about is that, we have a lot of educated intelligence, but you have innate intelligence, like an inner knowing of what's happening. And so we really want you to listen to that, and we want to listen to it too. When your body's giving you a signal, it's really important that you pay attention. And when a doctor says something like it's all in your psyche, that actually isn't quite accurate, because emotions, let's say it was stress, they live everywhere in your body. They can affect your digestive system and your immune system and your nerve system. And so stress is one of the #1 killers. Even if that were the case, that it was all in your psyche, it's a really important problem to be dealt with.
Right. One of the things that we frequently hear, as Dr. Pam said, is that the doctor says, there's nothing we can see, or it's all in your head, you have to live your life. Well, thoughts are things. Emotions do go into every single cell of our body. So just because the doctor can't run any tests that find something that that they can fix or throw medicine at, doesn't mean that your body's not capable of healing and getting well. And that's one of the things that we've seen over our years and years of practice, is that people go to the doctor, they may get thrown on different medications, they may work, they may not, and then they're told, well, you have to live with it. And then they come to us kind of like as a last resort, and when their body starts to heal better, not necessarily feel better, but they start healing better from removing pressure from the nervous system, all the organs and systems of our body start to function better, and people start to get well. And so it's really, really sad when we hear that the doctor says that there's nothing they can do. As long as your brain is alive and functioning, our body's always trying to strive to heal and get well. We just need to remove that interference or blockage from the brain to the body parts so that our body can heal and function at a more optimal level.
So I'm not saying that this is a problem that is stress related or that it is in your psyche, but I just think that's a very diminishing thing for any doctor to say. And I hope that any of our viewers who are listening, if you're hearing that, I just want to encourage you to be listening to your body and continue to find the answers that you need in order to become at a higher level of functioning. Anyway, in this particular issue, she was actually recommended a different medication. So she went on a second medication because she was having side effects from the first medication. And then the second medication caused a problem, so she had to go to a gastroenterologist for that. And so basically now she's having digestive issues and immune system issues, and none of this was here before she started the medication. And so she's asking specific questions, like if we were to do certain adjustments, would it affect her hiatal hernia, the positioning of her stomach? So I just wanted to address the fact that, like, in our office, people will have amazing results. I sometimes laugh about it and say it's like a Saturday Night Live skit, because I don't try and fix anything for my patients. I really do a very specific analysis in order to see if there's pressure in the nerve system, and then remove that pressure. And when that is removed, now the body has the best chance possible to bring nerve flow to that area and revitalize it. And so I can't, I wrote back to this person, but I'm just sharing this also in case she's watching. And the next thing she said is that she was curious about chiropractic care, and that she had heard that someone got hurt from an adjustment. And so she was really scared about it. And I just wanted to acknowledge that we often hear this in our office, and people will say to me after their first adjustment, oh my gosh, that was amazing. And they just are so surprised, because they have this image in their mind of it being like a sumo wrestling technique, and it's not. We adjust brand new babies all the way up to a 102-year-old grandmother, and the adjustments are so gentle, it's like squeezing a tomato when you're trying to test to see whether or not you want to purchase it. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of modern advanced techniques in chiropractic that make receiving an adjustment very pleasant and an incredibly helpful experience. So then the person went on to talk about diet and all the different things they tried, and that's why we have a segment on our show called Chemistry Matters, because chemistry definitely matters in your body and it can have a big influence over all these things. So it's a really long question, and I think there was about 20 questions in it, because this person is experiencing the domino effect of one problem leading to another, leading to another, leading to another, and the body is very out of balance. And so it's really important to look at what can bring balance back into the system.
Yeah.
So thank you for your question.
Okay. Now, another question that we got this week was much shorter, and so we'll talk about that briefly. The question was, Dr. Steve, can I have more energy through chiropractic adjustments? And that's actually something that we also hear a lot, whether it be from emails or in person in the office. People say that, you know, they don't have a lot of energy, and is there something that chiropractic can do to help restore their energy levels in their body? So what happens with the body, when the body's out of balance, when you're out of alignment and your brain has to control all your organs, if there's too much pressure and interference on the nervous system, the brain has a hard time getting those signals through. So the body's working harder trying to get the information from the brain to know how to work and function. So through chiropractic adjustments, the adjustments are geared towards resolving interference and restoring proper nerve flow. And that's the big important thing, is the nerve flow going through our spine out to all of our organs of our body. So our head weighs about 10 pounds, about as much as a bowling ball. So, for example, if somebody's head is really far forward, which happens a lot when people are at a computer and using their laptops and all their electronics, the body's working harder to hold up that head. So when you're in better balance and better posture, it's so much easier on the muscles and joints of the body, which is going to allow for the flow of nerve flow from the brain to the body to flow with much more ease, and it's easier on the body so that your body's not burning as much energy trying to hold itself up. So it's just when there's less pressure on the nerves, there's more ease in your body, so you have more energy to do everything else that you want to do.
That's great. So thank you for your question. And if you have any other questions, you can write to us at drpamjarbo@gmail.com
or drstevejarbo@gmail.com. And we're happy to get all your questions in, so thank you for writing into us. Talk about some of the foods that bring us down, our energy level down, and then also we'll talk about some foods that help bring your energy back up. So oftentimes things that we eat are going to affect our energy level. So for example, bad things that bring our energy down are carbs and grains. So if you start the day with a nice healthy bowl of oatmeal and you add honey to it, it sounds like a great breakfast, but those things actually bring your energy level down. Carbohydrates spike our glucose level. So when you first eat it, it might give you a lot of energy, but then as your body digests that food, your energy level is then gonna crash. So that's not a helpful thing to eat. Also, almonds are very sluggish foods. Again, almonds are healthy, but almonds contain a lot of tryptophan, kind of like turkey. Remember at Thanksgiving, after Thanksgiving dinner, everybody wants to take that classic nap, you know, because turkey has tryptophan, so do almonds. So eating almonds during the day isn't a good thing. Now, you might have a nice bowl of almonds at night before you go to sleep, because that tryptophan will kick in and help you have a more restful sleep. But during the day, almonds aren't the best thing to snack on. Also, another thing that's really, really healthy are cherries. However, cherries also have melatonin in them. And melatonin is the hormone that also helps relax your body and might help to you being more sluggish or sleepy during the day. Obviously, another thing is alcohol. You want to avoid alcohol. Alcohol is a depressant, and it also calms your body down, but it's not going to give you a lot of energy, especially after the alcohol wears off. That's going to reduce your energy levels. So those 2 martini lunches, not a good idea. Another thing that's really important is to avoid bananas. If you want to have bananas during the day, again, a nice healthy fruit, a nice organic banana, bananas convert tryptophan into serotonin. So another thing, serotonin is also a hormone that helps calm the body down and have you be more relaxed. So some people might eat all those things for breakfast, and really it spikes your glucose levels, give you energy at first, but then when your body starts to crash, it's going to have you be more and more tired after that. So those are some of the things to try to avoid during the day. Now, so for some things that are really great to eat, if you want to increase your energy level, there's tomatoes. So especially during picking season, summer and the fall, tomatoes have a lot of water in them, obviously, and potassium. And what potassium does is actually, it has a thing called beat the bloat. Potassium helps break down water and helps you digest the foods that you're eating better, so you don't have that bloated feeling. So that helps, because when you're bloated, you kind of feel sluggish after that. Another thing that is really good to eat is jalapeno peppers, or any spicy foods for that matter. But when you eat spicy foods, research studies show that you eat less, and that's important because when the more you eat, the more your body has to work on digesting all that food, and that tires you out. So spicy foods have you eat less, but then they also have you drink more water, because if it's hot and spicy, you want to drink more water, and water is always good to boost your metabolism and give you more energy. And most people in society aren't drinking enough water anyway. Our body is 75% water, and most people aren't replenishing their body. And when you're dehydrated, it also makes your body work really, really hard and brings your energy level down. So you want to make sure that you replenish and drink a lot of water, and a lot of foods that have water, such as fruits and vegetables. Another great fruit to eat is raspberries. Raspberries are, again, packed with water and a lot of fiber, which helps you ease with digestion and eliminate your food, so that you can increase your energy and not have that bloated, full feeling again. And another great thing to have is green tea. So you can have iced green tea. Green teas, as opposed to black teas, are loaded with antioxidants. And antioxidants are like the little Pac-Man in our bodies that eats all the bad things in our body, all the bad chemicals that are exposed to us in our everyday environment. And also green tea helps boost the metabolism. And we want our metabolism to be increased, and that's going to give us more energy levels. So I hope those were some great tips for you. Add those things into your body, and hopefully that'll give you a little bit more energy to get through your day.
This is a book geek moment, and the book I'm going to talk about today is a book called Energy Medicine by Donna Eden. And this is a book that we keep in our waiting area in our office that patients will sometimes look up in order to see whether or not